admire with our eyes pointed to the sky this marvelous example of the C-27J Spartan, which at the speed of approximately 250 knots will reposition with a 60 degrees nose up attitude and a steep wing over at the center of the display. Following it for a tight right turn, demonstrating the agility of the aircraft that it's unique in its class. As it was previously mentioned, this aircraft, the C-27J Spartan, is the only one in its category to make true aerobatic maneuvers, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to experience those together. It's been 8 years since the last time. The C-27 has won the As the Crow Flies trophy here at Fairport. And now from our left-hand side, the C-27 is coming back to us with a Schneider turn at the max speed and G-load allowed by the aircraft, which is about 3 Gs. Now on the exit of this Schneider turn, another maneuver, another left daring in order to for a maneuver that is rare and unique for an aircraft that can weigh up to 30 tons. It's possible due to the combination of the exceptional aerodynamic characteristics and the great handling qualities. Aircraft characteristics apart, it is worth mentioning the teamwork that is going on in the cockpit. We just saw another wing over from the C-27J Spartan. Now the crew is slowing down to prepare for a slow-speed Schneider. And if we were able to admire the extraordinary coordination of the crew members a few moments ago, now we can admire the absolute automatism and synchrony of the crew that is all concentrated on different tasks. The first pilot flies the aircraft, the fire starter sets the power, and the third member is responsible for the configuration of the aircraft. From the left-hand side, another Schneider, but this time with a configuration for landing. You could see the cargo door open through which the aircraft accomplished one of its And now the crew is closing the cargo door, climbing up to 1500 feet to prepare for the next that the C-27J Spartan needs to land. And now, after a safe landing, it salutes the friends of RIAT and all of us here with flight test engineer Furlough showing us the two flags that here at RIAT 2019 will love the most.
while the Griffon repositions, we just need to hand back to Sam for a quick announcement.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a message from Mrs. Vanessa Demenzian. That's Mrs. Vanessa Demenzian. Please could you report to the police station? Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. So here comes the Griffon in for its first by Saab as a replacement for its outset a multi-role platform, not just air-to-air, air-to-ground, also reconnaissance and anti-shipping strike among the planned roles. Unlike those earlier Saab fighters, the Griffon has achieved a lot of success on the worldwide export market. It's been bought by the Czech Republic, Hungary, South Africa, Thailand and Brazil up to now, and is in contention for a wide range of other fighter requirements. Yeah, the aircraft flying at about 110 knots indicated airspeed into about a 20 knot headwind, so 90 knots over the ground. So the difference between the trajectory of the aircraft and where the sun is coming off, and that angle is the angle. Demonstrated. Starting to enter production of more power. Future of the speed record for this type of aircraft.
And the smokes are on, and appreciate the geometry that the aircraft is capable of flying in the sky. We had a chance to enjoy the superb aerodynamic shape and the sound of the engine. And now, after we reach the top, the maneuver is descending, continue down coming from the right-hand side, this is going to draw a circle in the sky at the vertical It is a constant turn at the maximum performance of the aircraft. The pilot is sailing about 60. After this beautiful slow flight, we will see the aircraft go up for another loop, perform with all the thrust available of the two engines of the U346A. Aileron rolls. And it's with the next maneuver that you can appreciate the fabulous handling qualities of this aircraft during a slow shutdown or a slow roll along the longitudinal axis of the aircraft. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the last maneuver of the technical display of the U346 Harriers.
Just looking at the weather as the F-18 lines up, we've got a big gap in front of us with a cloud out to the left, probably about 2,500 to 3,000 feet. So I think as we saw yesterday, possibly a bit of a... very large horizontal stabilizers which improve the controllability of my aircraft. go again. Bring your forward firing weapons to bear shows what a wonderful air-to-air fighter this aircraft company, and they began to be delivered in June 1995, replacing the Saab Draken and the MiG-21. And they've now gained an air-to-ground capability to add to the aircraft's prowess in the air-to-air role. In at the slow, at the very slow, top right.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give your hands up together for the 2019 Royal Air Force Chinook display team. Push you back down there, give them all a wave before they make their 90-degree breakaway to the left. This year the Chinook display captain is squadron leader John Turner, known as JT. JT joined the RAF in 1993 and was posted to Odeon to fly Chinooks in 1998. On operations in Bosnia, Sierra Leone, Iraq and Afghanistan, and most recently in the Caribbean in 2017, undertaking hurricane relief support. JT would like to give a shout out today to his friends Dave, Debbie, and those who pulled up by 45 degrees before JT enters the roller coaster. The challenge for the crew here is to descend onto the ground centre before climbing again. On Monday, Saturday, 15 something. Joining JT in the cockpit today, 2019 display co-pilot, Flight Lieutenant Sam Hewitt. And joined the RAF in 2008 and subsequently completed his rotary flying training. He joined 18B Squadron in 2016 and is a member of the Mighty B flight. He recently completed his first operational deployment to Mars.
Air Force, the Chinook is actually operated under the Tri-Service Joint Helicopter Command. It remains in high demand due to its large cabin, capable of carrying up to 40 fully equipped troops. We also carry vehicles, freight and palletised cargo, both inside and outside of the aircraft. That is the best known role is in medical emergency response. The role is the force killed under fire during Operation Harriers in Afghanistan. How's that? Now going to give it another opportunity for those photographers out there to pull yourself up 45 degrees. The display you see today really demonstrates how manoeuvrable this extremely large helicopter is. Most of it is born out of tactical skills employed and perfected on operations around the world. During all of these, Her Majesty's forces for maximum effect anywhere in the world. We're now going to wing the aircraft into a low level 360-degree orbit, giving you a chance to really hear the sound of the aircraft. You'll see the nose come up as you decelerate to 85 knots. It's now time to hit nose down to 80 knots. On the battlefield, it's got to explain lots of racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, JT is now joined the RAF in 2009 as a weapons systems operator. On completion of his medical training, he joined 18 deployments. Fred has also recently deployed operating with Mali, deployed over 1,000 hours of practice. Please don't forget to post your photos on the display on our Facebook, Twitter or Instagram pages. We really do love to see them. Remember to add the hashtag #LateFun. So if you like those orange fans, ladies and gentlemen, please come and see us at the RAF Experience. We've got plenty of orange stickers to give out. They're not just stickers. Give him a big wave. Really proud to be bringing you the 2019 Chinook display this year. We do so alongside our operational and frontline deployment commitments, whilst conducting all of our regular duties, training and tasking. This does really set us apart from some of the other display teams, and we like that uniqueness. JT's now going to run the aircraft back in towards you in the crowd with the nose low, accelerating towards you before breaking away to the left. With today's light winds, you should feel the sound of the aircraft. We're now going to complete another wing over out to our left, with the co-pilot working hard to get JT back onto his correct line. Please come the machine backwards into an over-the-shoulder departure to run back out. And with that, I must also say my goodbyes. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you at RIAT this weekend. And our sincere thanks go out to the event organisers, the Flying Control Committee, and of course all of you coming out to watch our
Enjoy 19 tons of thrust of the engines. auxiliary held still by the seat arms. For vertical climb to demonstrate the technical capability of the aircraft at low speed and the rapidity of the slow rate. Now the Eurofighter is slowing down, and we can appreciate the aircraft's fantastic maneuverability in the final. At the end of its slow flight, the Eurofighter Typhoon of the reparto sperimentale di volo will climb straight up for a looping of fuel power. Then on our left side, we will climb for an half cubic. This 9G turn, the Eurofighter Typhoon of reparto sperimentale di volo sells the crowd of
excess of Mark II with excellent low-speed handling characteristics.
A thrust-to-weight ratio well in excess of 1:1 in all but its maximum takeoff configuration of 66,000 pounds.
This is a design that Sukhoi has continued to develop through the years. Among the main this sort of manoeuvring that astounded spectators 30 years ago at the Paris Air Show when this aircraft displayed for the first time in the West.
Yeah, and very hard to believe it was 30 years ago when instead of just looking at grainy black and white photos that have been acquired over the years, we were here able to see it in the flesh.
Most of them today are stationed at Dnipro, where this aircraft comes from, the 831st Guards Tactical Aviation Brigade being the main provider of Ukrainian air defense. By the Zaporozhye State Air Repair Plant, and the first updated aircraft came into service in 2014.
Great photograph. deployments of this aircraft are a good demonstration of the utility that it has in the swing role. Op-Azertais and Op-Veloxy, Baltic and Southern air policing in the air-to-air role, Op-Shada and Op-Elemi, the military interventions against Daesh, Iraq and Syria and Libya in the air-to-surface role, and Op-Adana, 365 days per year, operating quick reaction alert in the UK as well as in the Falkland Islands. Those that are in immediate danger. In my previous role as the UK Forward Air Control Capability Manager, this aircraft was very much the close air support platform of choice with the forward air control community. Evaluation squadron up at the crossing mouth on the Murray Ford. Entry sequence. Numbers 1, 2, 6 and 9 squadrons, and 9 is the latest edition with some of the earlier so-called tranche.
He will use in the most effective way the aircraft's impressive agility and its amazing flying capability, executing some of the aerobatic maneuvers that the air cadets are being taught during the training phase. On your left, the pilot is accelerating to a speed of 295 miles per hour, descending at 100 feet above the runway. At the show center, he will execute the opening demonstration maneuver, the fish hook. Pulling 6G, he flies vertically and executes a roll. With 5G, he draws a vertical circle. At the top, the altitude is 2,300 feet. Look on your right, where the pilot climbs with a barrel roll to reposition the aircraft for the 4-point roll. Flying from your right, the Tango 6 executes a horizontal 4-point rotation. A reverse Cuban 8 is following a steep 60 degrees nose up climb, a roll of the aircraft, and then the pilot dives to increase his speed and fly over the show center for the Texas Sidewinder. cause the aircraft initially flying away from us to reverse towards us by pulling 5 Gs. It reverses again and continues climbing. At this moment, pulling with 6G, the pilot counteracts force 6 times greater than the normal gravity, making its body weight about 500 kilograms. At the completion of the turn, the pilot reverses the aircraft and continues to fly inverted. Part of the show center. Maintaining negative Gs, the pilot flies straight and level. Now from the right, the inverted roll inverted. The aircraft rolls, continues to fly inverted. Performs a roll and continues the inverted flight. Tango 6 will fly in front of you with its maximum speed, 295 miles per hour. After the photo pass, the pilot executes an Immelman, pulling 5 Gs. He continues inverted. To return from mines, you will have the chance to admire the Tango 6 aircraft flying in a low altitude and a relatively slow airspeed. On our right, the Tango 6 with the landing gear extended, greeting you all with a pilot salute, the characteristic wind rock. On your left, at 100 feet above ground, the aircraft accelerates at about 300 miles per hour, heading for the show center, vertical climb, roll the Viper S. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed your Tango 6 capabilities display.
It's actually the most difficult thing on Monday morning. Yep, and at its peak on Monday morning, you've got a departure averaging once every 30 seconds, which is about 4 times the rate of Heathrow Airport.
And the final time ever here at RIAT to present the 2019 Royal Air Force Tucano display.
That distinct noise you'll hear throughout the display is the uprated Garrett TPE turboprop engine fitted to the RF Tucano by Shorts in Belfast. This particular engine boasts more power than the original Tucano design. As the Inter returns back towards crowd centre, you'll see him roll the aircraft through 720 degrees in a 5-point roll. This year's Tucano display is supported by Babcock International Group. to provide engineering and ground support to the RAF Tucano fleet at its home in RAF Linton-on-Ouse in Yorkshire, and the team thanks God to them for helping us to make this display possible. Liam now pulling up for the start of the loop, where he'll peak upside down at a height of 2,000 PNRs. If you keep your eyes on Liam out to the left-hand side, he's repositioning to perform an outside turn. During this manoeuvre, Liam is going to put the aircraft onto its side and push his way around the sky, being forced out of his seat by the force equal to twice his own body weight. Managed to visit our Team 10 today, you may. Students graduating from the Tucano will go on to fly the new Hawk T2 that is based at RAF Valley in North Wales. The Tucano, now at the end of its service, has served 30 years with the #1 flying training school, the oldest military flying school in the world. As it finishes its final year of service, the Texan T1 aircraft is working up to replace the Tucano as part of the new UK MFTS, and will also fly out of RAF Valley based in North Wales. Displaying just before us was the Grub Tutor. The Grub Tutor is the starting point for fast jet flying, and both Liam and I flew that aircraft during our time as air cadets and during our own military flight training. Now the UK military are working up brand new aircraft as part of the UK military's world-class flying training system, UK MFTS.
Hopefully we're going to go down to that next section.
Liam is now running away from the crowd's position to fly a high G. This is Liam's first season as a display pilot and the Tucano's very final year, so a very momentous occasion for 72 Squadron. For the keen photographers in the audience, if you keep your play! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today, and I hope you've enjoyed watching the display as much as Liam has enjoyed flying it for you. We hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon at RIAT, and we look forward to meeting as many of you as you can at our team stand located in...
on BBMF back in the day, didn't you? Yeah, in 1993, 1994.
We see with our own eyes day after day. I hope, indeed I pray, that we shall not be found unworthy of our
also the most instantly recognisable. Flight 10. 2007 on instructional duties on the Hawk T1. From May to September every year. In fact, this year, the BBMF is scheduled to appear at around 100 displays and some 1,000 flight paths. Lancaster joined the BBMF in 1973, initially at Coltishall, moving with the flight to Coningsby in 1976. PA474 was officially adopted by the City of Lincoln in 1975, and permission was granted for the aircraft to display the coat of arms and the name of the city on its nose, which it will always do, regardless of which colour scheme is painted on. demonstrator.
Eyes left, everybody.
Absolutely breathtaking. So the Blade's operated by part of 2XL as a wider aviation group. Straight into a 70-degree right turn, climbing to about 1,000 feet before descending back towards the display line at a speed somewhere in the region of 160 to 180 knots.
Straight after takeoff there, that very, very steep climb, about 45 degrees nose up initially, literally hanging it on the power as the aircraft had very little or no momentum at that stage.
Plenty of power from the 4 Europrop International TP400 turboprop engines driving these very, very impressive looking propellers. As with other Airbus products, the manufacturing of the A400M, known to the RAF as the Atlas, is of course a multinational effort in itself. All the major assemblies get flown to the Airbus final assembly plant in Seville in Spain. And the British contribution to the production effort is the outer wing box and the flaps, which are built at the plant at Stilton in Bristol. Some 30% of the complete structure of the A400M is made up of composites, which is more than any other large military aeroplane.
Yeah, absolutely. The design philosophy for the tactical environment is what makes this such an exciting aircraft to display. Side stick control coupled with advanced fly-by-wire, a flight envelope protection system giving virtually carefree handling. Unusually for a big aircraft like this, a head-up display enabling the pilots to keep their heads out of the cockpit all the time. And as you say, an extensive use of carbon fibre, giving the aircraft plus 2.5 G, up to 120 degrees angular bank and 60 degrees of pitch capability.
One of these aircraft can take a single. And another role of the A400M is air-to-air refuelling. At the upper end of the spectrum it can refuel fighters, but it can also fly slowly enough, as we see here, to refuel helicopters.
Previous generations of tactical airlifters have got good tactical performance, perhaps not quite as good as the A400M, but cannot carry outsized.
Up to a full operational capability of the tactical role in 2021, once the fleet is complete, but they're working up to that with low-level missions, operations from austere strips, use of night vision goggles, and so forth, and enjoying the aircraft's manoeuvrability. Environment, you need an airlifter to be agile, don't you? It's not just something for hauling cargo. It's somewhere around 250 to 280 knots, and a pull up to 45 to 50 degrees nose up, and then using capability to bank over to 120 degrees. And this is the sort of manoeuvre with a return to lower level afterwards that you may well use in a tactical environment in order to evade the attentions of ground-based threats. Gary Kayendu from Switzerland. Eduardo has been part of the A400M display crew at CM4. Gary is doing his first A400M display this weekend, but he's got a wide range of experience on the air show circuit. He's displayed the Eurofighter Type 2 in trade shows. He's also flown Airbus Heritages. Making tracking and predicting the aircraft quite difficult for an enemy attempting to engage. The Apache is of course usually operated in pairs and can be teamed with other platforms such as the Wild Call is communicated within the cockpit, instructing the pilot to conduct another rocket strike for alternate attack heading.
Great, command pass 12 o'clock, clear.
The crew then work together to update a set of pre-engagement checks, ensuring all systems are configured. With the SAM threat eliminated, the crew can climb into a wheel, circling the target to assess and ensure a decisive effect has been achieved. The gunner's scan with the camera is interrupted as the pilot spots enemy soldiers from a dug-in position, bringing a heavy machine gun to bear in the aircraft's direction.
Good effects on target, 4 enemy vehicles destroyed, radar threat eliminated. Target, pilot helmet sight, dismount HMG, by gun, auto range, firing.
Using his helmet monocle as a sight, the pilot slaves the gun up to 89 degrees to his right hand side and engages the target simply by looking at it and pulling the fingers, including over 1,200 in the Apache and 1,000 in the Wildcat. He has operational experience in Afghanistan and Northern Ireland. Establishing in the high harbour now at 800 feet above the ground, you can see the Apache's powerful hover performance. Tim will initiate and dive with the cycling stick to 80 degrees nose down before rolling through 90 degrees whilst almost vertical. Over the tactical return to target manoeuvre is flown in a manner to use the energy and momentum of the aircraft to bring it quickly into weapons release parameters. Tim will enter the wing over for a close-up look at a manoeuvre we like to call the bunt. The bunt sees the aircraft pitch from 90 degrees nose up to 90 degrees nose down at the highest point of the manoeuvre. Offensive actions, helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft of the Army Air Corps with a cycling rate of 625 rounds a minute. As seen earlier, this gun can articulate to 89 degrees left and right and 60 degrees down. Above the main rotor disc, you'll notice the distinctive shapes of the aircraft's fire control radar. The radar is able to scan out to 8 kilometres ahead of the aircraft, detecting over 1,000 targets, prioritising them and offering the pilot 16 simultaneous firing solutions through the aircraft weapons processors. Along with target detection and missile guidance, the radar is also capable of mapping the terrain ahead of the aircraft in flight to assist in navigation, terrain avoidance and night or in bad weather. On the nose of the aircraft is the Target Acquisition and Designation Site, or TADS, housing the day-TV and infrared cameras, as well as a Class 4 laser for ranging and missile guidance. A further infrared sensor mounted above the TADS can be slaved to the pilot's helmet position
allowing for flight at night in pitch black, solely with reference to the image projected. 2,300 shaft horsepower, meaning together they produce more power than 4 Formula 1 racing cars. As the crew resets for the signature finale of the Apache display, we'd like to ask you to put your hands together and show your thanks to our partners at Event Horizon for providing today's pyrotechnic effects. If you're out capturing photographs today, this may be the one you would like to take home with you, so please do have your cameras at the ready for a final time. Ladies and gentlemen, the British Army Apache attack helicopter. That concludes today's demonstration of the Army Air Corps Apache helicopter. On behalf of the whole team, Major Fitzway, Staff Sergeant Skelding and Gunship will now perform the customary bow to thank you for your support. Please do give them a wave and put your hands together and show your appreciation for their efforts today. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 attack helicopter display team. To finish, I'd just like to remind you that you can visit us on social media for more news and information on upcoming displays. Feel free to share your pictures of the day.
Yesterday, Nicola didn't quite have the cloud base to be able to perform his full show from the start. Not the case today, and so here he goes into the first of his pirouette manoeuvres. It looks as though the aircraft is entering a flat spin there. It's not, it's fully under control, but this is because of the new flight control software that the Swiss Hornets have at their disposal. But the fly-by-wire system coping admirably, continually readjusting to ensure that the wing continues to fly. Yeah, we've seen that sort of manoeuvrability in the past from aircraft like the F-22, like the Vector Thrust F-29 ODT that we displayed here back in 2006. But this aircraft, like the British earlier, doesn't have a Vector Thrust. It's fully conventional. ordnance for its FA-18s, apart from the aircraft's own gun.
Very high angle attack that slows the past there. A good example. Accelerated straight out of the slot into a Cuban manoeuvre. High-speed pass, as we said earlier, the aircraft is capable of in excess of 750 knots or close on 850 miles an hour, but limitations over land within the UK include that. So today we'll see 600 knots or Mach 0.9, whichever is achieved first. Had a variety of configurations. They eventually settled on this Delta wing. The first series production MiG-21s took to the air in 1956, and the aircraft was given the NATO codename of Fishbed. What a successful result. In excess of 11,000 produced. When you compare that to the flight to increase its range
North Vietnamese hands. An Indian MiG-21 scored 8 aerial kills in 1971's conflict between India and Pakistan, 4 of them against another of this aircraft's batteries.
Non-Soviet nations that actually had a choice of which aircraft to procure, you can see why this is such a prolific type.
It's known as Lancer, with a capital R for Romanian. Raising company with Romanian firm Aerostar. The first upgraded aircraft flew in August 1995. They updated 110 aeroplanes in 3 versions: the Lancer A for air-to-ground, the B is a 2-seat trainer, and the C for the air-to-air role. The A has now been retired, and so these C models have taken on the air-to-ground as well as the air-to-air role. Down the display line is about 100 feet in aircraft mode. But we'll soon see the transformation. Those huge propellers / range special operations role that this CV-22B model performs. Transition into helicopter mode with those rotors in those huge nacelles tilting. It's a joint venture between
and also this aircraft very, very capable, even hot and high, of climbing above 3,000 feet.
Model performs long-range missions in support of US Special Operations Command forces. It infiltrates those forces into the battle zone, resupplies them once they're there, and then exfiltrates them afterwards. It's got a combat radius of 500 nautical miles with a single... And interestingly, the pilots are able to use the Osprey's tilt rotor capabilities to assist in their low-level missions, because in more restrictive terrain the rotors can be tilted upwards and the aircraft slowed to help it make tighter turns and stay lower over terrain. But the aircraft's performance also gives the option of flying above ground levels. So that was the final pass by the Bell Boeing CV-22B Osprey of the 7th Special Operations Squadron of the US Air Force at Mildenhall. Both of these aircraft come from the 9th Squadron, or the Novena Escuadrilla, of the Spanish Navy at Rota. Very good demonstration there. Instead of a carrier Daedalus and then the newer Príncipe de Asturias. Station Pensacola, Florida. They move on to the Boeing T-45 Goshawk at Naval Air Station Meridian in Mississippi, and it all culminates with a landing on a conventional aircraft carrier.
That you would see would be pulling up to about 6G. Quite interesting to contrast that with the radius of turn to aircraft such as the F-18 and the F-16 that we've seen earlier, which are 9G aircraft. But as advanced as the F-18 and F
possible, here you see them demonstrated on this slow pass.
The jury is still out on, but it certainly made good media back in 1982, and I think was really there to delight the British public.
Certainly the Harrier, during its air show appearances, always delighted the British public. And that's the case here as the two Spanish aircraft come into the hopper.